friends, welcome back. A special welcome to those who are new viewers and a hearty welcome back to those who have been with us before. My name is Karen. I'm the publisher and editor of the Oldish, and this week on the Oldish Live we're going to talk about the articles that we published this past week, just in case you missed something that might be pertinent to your life. We're going to talk about whether or not you exist in pictures. Stay tuned for that. And of course, we'll take a look at news from around the world of the Oldish. So let's get started. First of all, our articles that we published this week on the Oldish, as always, a bunch of fascinating information for you. If you haven't been to our website, it is theoldish.com, and you can keep track of the articles that are published just about every single day. So let's get started. Preventing cracked teeth before damage is done. That is very important. Your teeth are actually something that can provide you with a lot of pain if they're not looked after properly. So I hope you go to the dentist on a regular basis. Even if you're very old, it doesn't matter. If you've got teeth, you need to be taking care of them. The Butterfly program transforms dementia care. This program warms my heart. It is such a wonderful article. If you have family or loved ones in dementia care, take a look at this, because this program is absolutely transformative. Study questions the common practice of intubating elderly patients. Now, we've talked about such things before here on the Oldish Live and in articles that we've published on theoldish.com. We've talked about making your wishes known to your family and your doctor. Sometimes, though, things happen when you least expect it, because emergencies happen, things are happening in a hurry, and you need to be very clear on how you want your life, and particularly the end of your life, to be handled. It's a good article to read. Have you got grandkids you want to hire out? Well, there's a new app, and we've written an article called Grandkids for Hire with New App. Take a look at that. And here's a hint. If you're somebody who needs a few chores done around the house, this new app may match you up with exactly the person who can help you out. Tips to make your summer gathering more senior friendly. It is summertime. In fact, we're all coming up to holiday weekends if you live in Canada or the United States, and families are planning get-togethers all over the place. However, if you've got aging seniors in your family, and it's the younger ones who are planning it, sometimes they don't always think about the needs of grandparents. Walking on uneven ground, having washrooms nearby, the noise levels. If you have a grandparent who is challenged with dementia to a greater or lesser extent, there are some tips in there that will help you plan the perfect family gathering so that everybody stays happy. All right, let's talk about existing in pictures. A colleague of mine recently did some corporate headshots for a medium-sized company. One fellow who was to have his headshot done didn't feel well the previous day, so he went home from work early. He came in, though, he dragged himself out of bed and came in for his allotted headshot time, and then he went home again and crawled back into bed. The next day, he died. The headshot photographer rushed the editing of the image so that it could be printed, framed, and used at his funeral and in his obituary. It's a very sad story, but what if this image hadn't existed? What would they have used? What would the family have dragged out to use? An old army picture? Something cropped out of the last family picnic? A vacation picture taken with a smartphone? Seeing obituary notices with these kinds of pictures makes me absolutely bananas. Very often, I don't even recognize the picture or the person from the obituary notice. I recognize the name, I know who it is, but this picture is not somebody that I recognize. So it's a common dilemma. Let me tell you, your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren, not to mention future generations, want to see you. They want to see you exist in pictures. They want to see your life play out. Yes, they want to see your service pictures when you were maybe a little rambunctious and a tad naughty. But they want to see pictures that they can relate to as well. They want to see a picture of you from the days when you were a father. They want to see a picture of you when you were their grandfather, which is probably how they will remember you best. They want to see you getting gray. They want to see you as a grandmother. They want to see portraits that tell your life through the decades. So the rule of thumb about how often to have a proper portrait or headshot taken is every 5 years. That sounds about right, doesn't it? Every 5 years. There are noticeable changes to our faces and to our hair, even if we color it. You might choose a different color every 5 years. Go the extra step, print out the portrait and put it in a frame and give it as a gift. It may feel a little self-centered, but trust me, they want these pictures. Even if they don't value them in the moment the way that you think they might, at some point down the road in their lives, they will pull out that portrait and put it on display because it represents something that hits a nerve in their own lives. And they want to see that generational value carry on. So find a good photographer, not a hack who's going to put you up against a wall and take your picture in 5 minutes and say, on you go. You don't want somebody who's going to sit you in a chair and say, smile. Because you know what most people do? See the bug eyes? See the fakey smile? That's not how you normally talk to people, and that's not really how they will remember you best. So you need a photographer who comes to you maybe with some credentials and some experiences that your friends have had. Take a look around their homes and look at their portraits. Look at how they were shot. Ask them questions about the experience they had with that photographer. Was it good? Was it bad? Did the photographer help them choose wardrobe to show them off to their very best? Did the photographer give them some direction so that they were sitting up straight and not bug-eyed, but relaxed and comfortable, taking that best picture? If you're having family pictures done, which so many people do, either in the summer or in the fall, see if you can book a little extra time with that family photographer so that you get not only the family photo, but you get the photo of you and your partner, and then your partner alone and you alone. Trust me, when it's your time to pass on, your family is going to value having a current and beautiful portrait of you to show at your obituary and show at your funeral while they celebrate you and celebrate your life. Don't think of it as something morbid. Think of it as something that you want to represent you and your life. Get that portrait done. For what it is worth, I will tell you, little known secret, because I don't have a lot of time to do this, but I'm actually a headshot photographer myself. I refer to it as my hobby gone wild. And if I was to turn this camera in that direction, you would see my headshot set up in the studio, because I've been doing a couple of them recently for our local elections. But I am tied in with a network of headshot photographers, most of whom do portraits as well. So if you're having difficulty finding a portrait photographer in your area, send me a private message and I'll hook you up. It won't be difficult at all. And no, I am not publicizing my own business by doing this, because I really don't have a ton of time to do it. But I think that having this hobby gone wild really gives me the ability to recognize how valuable these portraits can be for people. Alrighty, around the world with the Oldish, seniors are embracing a variety of technologies that give them opportunities to have their independence carry on longer and help them age in a healthier fashion. Don't forget, many of our seniors these days have come from seeing horse and buggy, and they are now seeing driverless cars. So although many of them say they want to wait until the driverless car piece is perfected just a little bit more before they get into them, they have seen a wide variety of technology come along, and they're recognizing now how this can help them. So let's all embrace this just a little bit more. Pride celebrations have been taking place across this country and the United States as well, and with it comes a report on LGBT health and how it differs from heterosexual health given the denial of care or poor care they may have experienced due to discrimination. This report comes from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and it indicates that older LGBT adults are more likely to smoke, drink excessively, and report depression. Hispanic LGBT older adults are more likely to report asthma, diabetes, and visual impairments. African American LGBT older adults are more likely to be obese and report higher blood pressure issues. Rural LGBT adults are dependent on luck of the draw care, which means that in some areas they get great care and in other areas they are discriminated against and they get a poorer standard of care. Older LGBT adults also deal with ongoing issues around the HIV virus. And this is something that has come to be thought of as a young person's disease now, but actually very many older adults are dealing with this as well. As we have highlighted in previous articles on the Oldish and commentary here on the Oldish Live, it is still important if you're an older adult and sexually active with partners that you don't know, partners that you haven't been married to for 60 years, to make sure that you still keep up the practice of using condoms, because there is a lot of stuff going around out there, not just HIV, but other viruses that are contagious, and you want to make sure you protect your health. Did you know that Habitat for Humanity has an aging in place manager? I did not. Years ago, I was on the founding board of Habitat for Humanity in the area where I live, and this must be a very new position because it's not something that was present then. But this aging in place manager is reporting that 50% of the repairs that they do are for adults 55 years of age and older. And these older adults are reporting fears about losing their independence. And so many of the modifications that they've been doing are to help them age in place and stay in their communities. Imagine that. Way to go, Habitat. How old is old? U.S. Trust did a study in 2017 and found that millennials who are currently aged 22 to 37 think that old is 59. 59. Gen X, which is currently 39 to 53 in terms of their age range, defined old as 65. That's getting better. Baby boomers, though, yay baby boomers, they are now 54 to 74, see old as 73. That's better. Sounds more like it. So it's all about the attitude, says a study from Orb Media. People who have a good and healthy attitude about aging can live up to 8 years longer than their Debbie Downer counterparts. So stay positive. Aging is a great thing, and if we embrace it, take care to advocate for ourselves and for our own health, we can live longer and we can live better. That's it for Around the World with the Oldish. Now then, I want to let you know that for those who use Instagram, you may know that they have started a new service called IGTV, Instagram TV, where anybody who has an Instagram account can have their own channel. Of course, the Oldish has acquired an IGTV channel, and we've got a couple of little videos up there. They're not the same as this video that you're watching, although in the future I may clip bits and pieces from it. And at the moment I am creating the IGTV videos and sharing them to Facebook, so you can see them on Facebook. Don't worry, you're not going to miss anything. But if you are an Instagram user, this gives you one more thing to look at, and I hope you do visit us on the Oldish TV at IGTV. So that's it. That's all for now from the Oldish Live here on Facebook. Please join us next Wednesday when we will bring you another edition of the Oldish Live at 12 noon. Until then, take care of one another, take care of yourselves. Remember, it does indeed take a village to age a senior.